Okay, let's just dive right into this. Imagine being literally the absolute best in the world at a brutally punishing game, only to wake up inside it as the weakest, most disposable character imaginable. Welcome to today's Explainer. We're going to break down an absolutely cinematic zero-to-hero journey of survival, raw intellect, and just sheer willpower inside a deadly gacha game called Pick Me Up.
So, the irony here? It's just staggering. We are following Hanseo John. He's a guy globally known as the legendary top-ranked player, Loki. I mean, he's spent years mastering this game from the absolute comfort of Earth. But one day, bam, the screen goes black, and he wakes up on this blood-soaked battlefield. And he isn't a god here, no way. He's been summoned as a total trash-tier one-star hero named Han.
Section 1. Trapped as Trash Tier. A Brutal Awakening. Inside this game, the psychological horror is absolute. The monsters are terrifyingly real. The pain from a goblin's blade is real. But here's the truly terrifying part. Imagine your actual physical survival depending on a bored gamer's screen tap while they wait for the bus. Han is completely at the mercy of some oblivious human back on Earth who's just casually tapping a phone screen, completely unaware that the characters bleeding for them are actual humans.
Now, the disadvantage he's dealing with is almost laughable. As a one-star hero, Han has miserable starting stats. In this world, one-stars are entirely disposable. I mean, they are literally meant for sacrifice. Contrast that with the five-star heroes, who boast godly power, massive potential, and are heavily protected by the player. The entire system is fundamentally designed to throw guys like Han away like garbage.
The absolutely crucial piece to understanding Han's danger is the game's darkest mechanic. It's called synthesis, and it's essentially a literal meat grinder. Weak heroes are permanently erased and sacrificed just to give a tiny stat boost to higher-tier heroes. This creates compounding tension because Han could be executed at literally any moment if his clueless human master decides he's useless and casually taps that merge button.
Section 2. The one-star grind. Surviving the system. Han isn't about to just wait for the meat grinder, though. While the other summoned humans are crying, panicking, or complaining about their terrible luck, Han taps into his past military discipline. He initiates a relentless, bone-breaking physical grind. He knows that if he doesn't make himself invaluable to the player, he's gonna be erased, for sure.
And his rapid progression proves one thing perfectly. He survives not through luck, but through sheer skill, insane game knowledge, and crazy willpower. From being summoned at level 1, he pushes his body to awaken a berserk state by floor 5, miraculously survives a dragon boss on floor 15, and earns a highly coveted promotion to a 3-star hero. That is a massive jump.
But you know, he doesn't do this entirely alone. He builds this incredible underdog survival squad. We've got Jenna, a prodigious archer who adapts incredibly fast. There's Aaron, a struggling but super determined spearman. Valkus, the wild berserker. Yolka, an aristocratic mage. And Edis, an agile thief. Han uses his absolute genius intellect to train them, employing a cold but totally necessary leadership style just to keep them all alive.
Let's dive right into the cinematic tension of their Floor 5 trial. Picture this, 30 seconds left on the clock. The Master drops Han and his low-level squad into a brutal survival wave mission. They are trapped in a narrow, blood-soaked alleyway, desperately trying to hold a defensive line against a massive wave of over 1,000 charging goblins.
The sheer desperation of that moment is just suffocating. His teammates are bleeding out left and right, the timer refuses to end, the physical toll is unimaginable, and then the sword breaks. Yep, Han is left swinging broken steel and his shattered shield, trying to hold a collapsing formation against an endless tide of monsters. It is pure, visceral desperation.
Pushed completely beyond all physical and mental limits, Han's absolute rage shatters his boundaries. Berserk activated. His body transforms into this primal, feral state. He pushes past the agonizing pain and just slaughters the remaining monsters at an incredible speed, clutching survival literally just as the timer finally hit 0.
Section 3. Hacking the Master. Breaking the rules. See, Han realizes that brute force won't be enough if the human playing the game on Earth keeps making stupid, reckless choices. So what does he do? He decides to break the game's rules from the inside. He decides to hack his own master. And his plan is absolute genius. First, he totally intimidates the game's admin fairy into giving him an internet connection to Earth. Then, he logs on to the game's real-world forums.
Next, he posts flawless strategy guides under his old legendary Loki persona. And the payoff here? His clueless human master actually reads these guides online, upgrades their lobby, and completely stops blindly sacrificing heroes based on Han's secret instructions. It's a total game changer.
Section 4. The Floor 15 Dragon. A deadly mistake, because even with better gear, the Master makes a massive error. They are suddenly forced into a city defense mission against a massive, incredibly overpowered dragon boss and its endless shadow army. And let me tell you, they are massively underleveled for this.
Then comes the horrific breaking point of the battle. The altar's blessing fades. To actually hurt the dragon, the teams had to protect a goddess altar, but they get overwhelmed. The protective buffs completely vanish. Without them, their attacks against the beast do literally nothing, and multiple allied squads are actively being wiped out right in front of their eyes.
With adrenaline pumping and his team on the absolute brink of death, Han executes a desperate tactical strike, a dagger through the eye. Avoiding the massive claws, he plunges a blade directly into the beast's eye, blinding it, crippling its defenses, and clutching an impossible victory for his squad. It's an insane moment.
But we have to anchor the emotional weight of this victory in real human loss. Look at the aftermath here. Han's Party 1 survives with 0 casualties, though they are severely wounded. But Party 2 loses Usher. And Party 3? The entire squad is wiped out. Han survives, but the cost of the other squads is just devastating.
Section 5. The Tower's Dark Truth. A mind-bending meeting. So after this brutal victory, Han finally earns his 3-star promotion. But inside the promotion chamber, he is dragged into a meeting with the god of the tower system. And here, the entire reality of the game is flipped completely upside down.
100 million. That is the terrifying lore revealed to Han. Over 100 million real worlds have already been destroyed by dark forces. These gacha game accounts aren't just silly mobile games. They are desperate, multi-dimensional wars fighting to save parallel universes using abducted humans. Let that sink in for a second.
And this brings everything back to Han's original God-tier account. The Niflhammer account was originally mastered by Han himself. Ranked number 5 globally, it had cleared floor 88 and was defended by these hyper-loyal 6-star heroes. Han realizes that the AI heroes he commanded back on Earth were actually real people, and they fought fiercely out of deep, genuine loyalty to him.
But Han's immense skill has painted a massive target on his back. A warning is suddenly issued. "I will be waiting for you," spoken by the mysterious Dark Disciple. It proves that the game's most terrifying, destructive forces are fully aware of who Han really is, and they are actively hunting him as he climbs the tower.
This entire journey builds to this one moment. Han sneaks onto the internet one last time using his admin fairy, but instead of posting a strategy guide, he stumbles across a shocking forum post from Earth. A post with insanely specific requirements that make it undeniably obvious someone is actively looking for him.
Which leaves us with one massive, lingering question. Will Han's legendary 6-star heroes find him before the tower claims his life? His old squad from Niflheimer's actively trying to hack the system from the inside out to rescue their master. It's an incredible cliffhanger that proves loyalty truly transcends dimensions. Can they pull off the ultimate multi-dimensional rescue? What do you think? Thank you so much for joining me on this explainer, and keep learning.